Okay, let's get into Browns defense review. This one, as you guys know, should be pretty fun. So we finally got our film back set up with pre-play information. That'll be really helpful. Alrighty, so we're coming out in, looks to me like a little cover six. So what we get by cover six is down corner to the short side of the field, half safety with quarters to this side. Now, obviously, when you run quarters and you get a three-man release side, you're looking at this player here. Your nickel is going to be your curl flat player who's going to be responsible for taking away the first inside. This is just a schematic base throw. They catch the Browns in the right coverage to throw the out. So not a surprise that they would find success on that design given what coverage the Browns came out in, right? Trying to take away the short side, any quick throw to the running back initially, then they shifted to 3-by-1 and it created a better advantage. I think this is the play where Miles puts Zach Tom on skates right here and ends up being where he gets hurt. He was dealing with an oblique injury, and I think that right there was what got him. Or it could be a couple plays later. I'm not sure, but that was one where you watched the mic'd up. He's gone the next play, so he was gone after one play. Okay, so next time out, Browns are in what looks like base to me against this 12 personnel. So you'll have Jerome Baker right here, Devin Bush, and then obviously Schlesinger right here. So those are your three backers on the field. Playing a little cover two off of this. Now, here's what I like, and we're going to talk about this more in the coming days, is like they're making their concepts look like something different. Watch how Love wants to go left side here. He's expecting man coverage, so he's expecting this to have a chance to come open right away. Watch Bush punch out and take advantage of that expectation right here. I think that's Jerome Baker, which that momentary confusion, can't get back to the right. We're down, playing down coverage, and then the pressure overwhelms him. Right? Browns are doing a much better job disguising their stuff this year, and I'm going to put a film room out on instances from the 3 games, but just a really good job. Then up front, looks like we're going to get a little interior line game, right? Little cross up front. We're going to get a loop, right? Crash through the shoulder. Miles is getting his usual double treatment from the tight end, and that's not a chip. That is a full-on, we're both blocking him scenario before he goes out. That's different than what the Browns try to do, just getting a body on the player. They're really spending time there, but that twist is really clean. Collins comes through there so fast. Watch 74, the center, has no idea. He just can't even remotely get there, and Mason obviously cleans up the play as well. So really well done from those two inside twisting. That puts it at 3rd and 8, which we obviously like. Heavy cover 2 tendency. So what you'll get here is 2 drop, down corner, playing a little soft cloud over here. And then you usually have a Mike running the middle of the field, and then 2 hook defenders meant to really zone drop out. You'll see them to retreat quick and just try to kind of compress everything. I think what they noticed is that they could get, some different wrinkles. These corners from the Browns were inside eager. Also, they started to pick up on safeties getting a little inside eager, and it came back to get them a little bit later in this game. But a good job, taking advantage of this down. And this is what the Browns want, right? You're going to put Collins on 75. You're going to put Mason with a couple guys on him. But, you're getting 2 one-on-one matchups, right? If they're going to put 4 hands on Mason and they're going to put 4 hands on Miles, then we got a one-on-one here and a one-on-one here. Let's win those. And as you see, Collins just bull rushes the guard back into a quarterback's face. And that's really all it takes, right? Is to just create that chaos. So 1st and 10 next series out for Green Bay. They're in a little split. So they got 2 backs, or that could be Savion Williams, a wide receiver. Browns are in their dime personnel. This is Miles Harden, who's the slot corner, nickel personnel. He's there. So you got a down safety. That's Delpit down here in the box. These Brown jerseys are cool. They're fun, but they're really hard to read the numbers sometimes. So this is just split zone with a wind back off of it. So they're just trying to sell potentially 83 there. Williams running outside, and then we're just winding back off of it. Almost like a tight end counter because we're kicking out the backside. But this is a great job from Delpit, who processes it, shoots the gap. They don't have anybody for him. And then watch Miles here kind of just whoop right past Tucker Kraft and make the play. It's beautiful. Here's a look at it from the other end, right? It's really just gap block. It's not even really gap block. It feels like more like split zone to me than like a true tight encounter, but you got to block 95, right? That's the whole point. Man, really good move right here. Watch Huntington. Not a ton of reps yet, but boy, it's going to be hard to keep Geno Atkins light off the field. Watch him. Watch this stock, right? Shock the arms, lock him out. Watch him just shed. Boom. It's impressive. It's continuing to put together really good tape so far this year. Our 2nd and 10. Looks like we got another bunch down here. 2 tights. So if we got 2 tights, we got a Sam linebacker they're bringing in. Flat motion. Just throwing bubble screen, right? And this is something they picked up on last week, if you were paying attention, right? I talked about the Ravens running this exact concept. They pulled the backside guard, and watch what impact pulling the backside guard, well, frontside guard, has on this linebacker right here. So you're really selling run here and here with the guard in the back, and then having all these others out. This is a good concept. Everyone else is out, and it kind of looks like it. This is why it's a good concept, because if it were to be, you know, power or counter, say he's up and through or kicking out, everybody else would be blocking back here, here, and here, and then it sells it on every level and makes the job of this slot defender, a linebacker in this case, Baker, really challenging to get back out here and cover it after the fake. I mean, this is a good concept, and one that's challenged the Browns 2 straight weeks. Good job here keeping this away from being a first down. I don't know if that's Hickman. I think that is Hickman who came down in the alley on this one. So you see the numbers so much better on this side. But yeah, I mean, look at the guard. Watch what the guard does. So when you see guard pull and back going this direction, the impact it has on Schlesinger and the impact it has on Baker, the 2 guys who are the primary threats to being in the tunnel. It's a good concept. I like it. One I wish the Browns would copy and paste. So now we're 3rd and short, 3rd and 3. Browns love to run single mug, right? This is the player we're going to get funky with. And this looks like dime to me, because I'm only seeing, unless this is a, yeah, there's something going on here, because I think this is McGuire, and he's trying to tell somebody's got to come out here and guard this. I think this is a running back over here. So this is Jacobs, and this is an 83 Savion Williams in the backfield. So they didn't have anybody out here. So he's trying to communicate. We got man coverage everywhere else. Yeah, and they throw that for the first down. So I think there's just miscommunication on, this is weird. This is an alignment thing that the Packers did. They put their running back typically aligning where an X does, and then taking a receiver hybrid type for them, Savion Williams, who's been in the backfield, and putting him in the backfield. And I think that messed with the man coverage alignment. Like, you can see how confused Jenkins is right here about where he's supposed to be going, who's supposed to be aligning where. You even have Denzel Ward, as you'll see here, travel across. I think it's Denzel. Again, I hate these brown jerseys for this purpose. He's coming over here to try to figure out who to take. You know what I'm saying? So this actually just won the confusion battle for Green Bay. Just that personnel shift caught everybody off guard, right? Again, you can see McGuire's like, hey, somebody might want to cover him over here. So just a little brain fart that happens right there. Okay, now we're back to 12. Now we're in 11. I think they're in 11, unless this is a tight end down. That is a tight end. So we're in 12, 3 backers on the field. Now this is where, and again, I'm going to talk about this in the coming days. There are some concerns about where the run game can get caught. They are still susceptible to pin pull stuff. So if we want to see the Browns defeat this more often, right? which we do. We want to see the Browns, obviously, take out more of these plays. They're getting pinned by wide receivers too easily right here, because all they're doing is here, and I'm imagining they're probably pulling one or two of these guys out to run the alley, pin inside, toss it opposite the sweep, because they know when they use this motion, you're usually going to get a yank the chain concept where everybody's moving down a gap, right? So watch him flip it. We're getting pinned too easily right here. We need to redirect, get flat and redirect down the line instead of trying to run up field and think that's the route you think you can take, because you get pinned. And then it comes into like, oh, we got people hopping. See how Schlesinger and the linebacker, this is just scheming up the Browns, right? So they're just hopping this direction because everybody's moving down the line to shift the gap over that you're gaining by bringing a tight end over. So now everyone's even slower to get to the place they need to get to cut this off, and it turns into a 7-8 yard run. The Lions are going to challenge the Browns in that very concept. It's going to happen quite a few times in Sunday's game. So what we need to be is better right here. You don't need to run upfield. This man right here, this slot wide receiver or condensed split wide receiver, however, wants you to run upfield, because then he can just lean into you and he knows you're going to be able to get outside of it. What you have to do is just run through his chest. First thing you have to do is notice and be aware, this condensed split could lead me to some trouble. He could be down blocking because of his alignment right now. So feel it out, redirect, get down the line, run through his chest instead of trying to push vertical, and you have a chance, right? Bush has to take on, because, apparently it's a rule for only the non-Packers of the league that you can't go low on linemen. So he takes it on, but you can see how, since everybody's moving down the line with this motion, watch Schlesinger, who right now is in a pretty good position to take this on, is moving down, and he then becomes out of position. The center can get there on him now. See that? That's why it springs for a decent gain. So be aware of that concept right there entirely. They actually went right back to it, but the difference is in their effort to go right back to it, they didn't have any misdirection this way. So watch how quick the linebackers are to flow, and watch how quickly the corner is there to be a force player. Right? So this is just like wildcat stuff, but you can tell how much faster they are, because look how quickly the second level, 49, 17, and 30 are reading that and getting where they need to get. So you have more bodies at the point of attack. That's well done. But you can see how the little scheme wrinkles can mess with stuff. 3rd and 2 now. Just a downhill run. This looks like duo or tight zone to me. Yeah, since we're getting to the backers, really you have to take the backer because he's running through on this one. This is definitely same side. I think you're talking about zone here. Just tight zone. Man on man. Delpit's the one who can make the play. It's got to be really tight to it. Miles or Delpit. So if you're, you know what I mean? And the thing that they got the Browns on later was they started to pull the football off of this and run the quarterback out the backside. Just zone read it. So you got to be really good on the front side, disrupting this flow. And there's too many push outs happening on that play. All right, 1st and 10. Green Bay is in 11. They are getting this little reduced split, heavy run indicator. That's what you get. Looks like a duo concept to me. We'll see from the tight, about 3 yards. So do we have the guys gapping down opposite the back's release? Yep, we do. He's reading. Now, he's reading, technically reading Schlesinger, but if he runs through, we're gonna peel off this and pick him up, right? So that's what happens. Swess does a good job, and that's a great job disrupting the play from Swess. 49 there. This is Huntington against 2 big boys, right? So this is Aiden Huntington right here, 98. How does he handle this when he's in these situations? You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. He didn't get driven really at all. He held his ground, split the double team. Everybody stayed true to their gaps, and he's there to be the one ultimately to bring Jacobs to the ground. Let's see what we got. 2nd and 6 now. 11 personnel. So we got Miles Harden in down here. Right? They continue to match it with nickel. Motion to 3-by-1. They're trying to go back to the same concept they were in earlier. Hey, we think we're going to get quarters. We're going to get cover 6 in this game against 2-by-2. We'll motion to 3-by-1, and let's take advantage of the long out route throw. They did it earlier. They come back to it. Just a spacing concept over here. Stick route, speed out. Right? Probably paired with some sort of backside dig or something. Let's watch up front. So we get one-on-ones for Aiden. Get one-on-one for Cam Thomas on the other side. The ball is out pretty quick on this one. Okay. Nothing of note there. So I think we got 3rd and 3 situationally coming up on the end of the first quarter. Little flash fake slant, right? This is just, I think this is less an RPO. It might be an RPO. They do look like they're trying to run block it. 63 looks like he's also trying to stay in this halo available, right? So basically the read is, if there was an overhang here, say maybe Grant Delpit was here or something, right? You would consider just giving this off. But the Browns are in a very compressed look defensively, and there's no stand-up player. Now, Schlesinger could, I think that's him. Schlesinger could pump out, but once you get this look, man, it's just about, I'm throwing the slant, and that's simplification. That's just what he wants to do, right? So that's an RPO, just an RPO slant. You can throw the slant if you want to. Okay, let's keep it moving. Back to 12 personnel. This looks like some fly sweep motion wide zone. Yeah, a couple yards, not much. Let's see what goes on here. Yeah, Mason does a good job defeating him, tries to get flat and disrupt, but ultimately 75 does a pretty good job recovering right here. This is pretty good for Mason, though, in terms of like, what are you doing with the hands? Boom, rip that arm off. Pretty good for Malik Collins on the front side. Miles over here setting the edge. Okay. Pretty good, man. Great job from Schlesinger getting rid of 74 here. The center. Gets Eldon Jenkins, right? Boom, get off of him, make the play. Good job cleaning it up from the backside. I think that's Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. 7 snaps in this one, which is an increase from the 3 or 2 he'd been playing the weeks before. Back to 12 personnel. YY over here. This is an interesting look. So you got to be ready for what they could use conceptually off of this. Okay, looks like I think they're going, I don't know if this is tagged, like he has the choice. It doesn't feel like it. They're just selling over on this side. They're selling jet sweep here. Sorry, fly sweep. And then running wide zone away from that to try to create some run lanes, which it does fairly well. They pick up 4 yards on. Right? We got a slant happening here. So you'll see here, 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 right? Because we're off this edge. This is a great job from 94 in a very disadvantageous spot right here of getting down the line and making that play. Great job on the front side from Shoyinka setting the edge, and then we close it. This is the concept you use on wide zone. Set the edge right here, and then close it off together. Condense it down, close it off on the perceived run lane. This is exactly what you want, because the Browns are in a pretty vulnerable position right here. as this is making its way out. So pretty good job. So we got 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Find a way to get off the field. We got Y solo and a wing over here, but we're in 11 personnel, so we get, excuse me, this is Harden, so we're back to matching it with nickel. Wide setup up front. Okay, we're going to motion out of it. Let's keep it moving. Now we're into quarter 2. Playing man here, and this is a great job from Denzel. Packers like to run this concept where they're running him in against man, where he's aligned right here, right? He's tight. He's trying to have a good angle on Dontavian Wicks right here. Their plan is you're going to stay compressed. All right, we're going to go ridiculous fast, flat motion, snap it, and throw the out at the sticks. Good luck covering it. Well, 21 is pretty special. Watch how fast he gets there and closes the gap. Boom. That is great defense. And up front, Mason threw clean, right? 74 a little slow on this one. He steps left, kind of opposite of everybody on this one. But good immediate pressure. Great pass breakup.